What's going on, everyone? So the Los Angeles Lakers are very likely going to be without Jared Vanderbilt and Christian Wood to start the season. Christian Wood for certain, right? He's out at least 8 weeks, and that's just when he's going to be evaluated. That's not actually when he's going to return. I mean, he could be out months for all we know. Jared Vanderbilt is expected to miss training camp as well as preseason, and is kind of questionable. His status is kind of up in the air for the regular season, but it's very possible that he's going to miss, and the Lakers are not going to want to rush him back, and now he gets hurt again and he misses the whole season or half the season or whatever, right? He's coming off of a significant injury. He chose not to go the surgery route, so it's taking longer and there's complications, where Christian Wood ended up going the surgery route this time to correct it, and hopefully he'll be back the best version of himself as possible, because we need these guys. And we need these two to be the biggest and best versions of themselves. Christian Wood, I know people kind of are down on Christian Wood because he hardly played last season. And when he did play, he wasn't very good. I don't really put that much blame on Christian Wood. I think Darvin Ham utilized him terribly. I've even did entire videos breaking that down with stats and stuff to back it up. My problem was, I think that Darvin Ham utilized Christian Wood as a 3-and-D wing, as opposed to a big man that can stretch the floor on occasion. Obviously, Jared Vanderbilt, he's a guy that can defend essentially 1 through 5 and do it at arguably, if not the best level in the entire league. Now, people also forget, there was a lot of hype and conversation and talk about Christian Wood and his impact last year and what he could bring to this Lakers team, and real conversation, even from people that don't like the Lakers, that were like, Christian Wood could be the difference and be the guy that puts them over the top. So we'll see how this goes. But one of the things that I want to kind of talk about, and I want to go over, kind of the pros and cons of each, and I want to hear your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below, is who should replace and potentially be at that starting 3 in place of Jared Vanderbilt, right? And Christian Wood, obviously, I don't expect him to start, but he could have been potentially a starting option had Jared Vanderbilt, been out and Christian Wood was healthy. There was always an argument of slotting him at, the 4, or even him at the 5 with AD at the 4, so he could kind of play the scout role, or even kind of experiment with Christian Wood at the 3, as we saw in the in-season tournament, and he did an excellent job defending Kevin Durant. And then on offense, maybe move LeBron to the 3. So on defense, you have Wood. Offense, you have that. But let's dive into it. And of course, I want to hear your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. So I think the most likely scenario, and the one that I am pretty confident is probably going to happen, is Rui Hachimura. I think the Lakers will go with the same starting 5 as last year, which is D'Lo, Reeves, Rui, LeBron, and AD. That's fine. Offensively, we know they're good. In the regular season, I think you can get away with that and be very good at the game of basketball. My concern is the playoffs, and I had those same concerns last year, right? For those that, were following along and part of this channel all last season, you heard me, even when the Lakers were like 9-0 with the starting 5. I was like, yeah, that's great, but what happens when the offense isn't flowing? What happens when the offense isn't cooking? Are we just going to start getting blown out? And we saw that in the Denver series. Lakers offense cooking? Guess what? Lakers are up 20. As soon as that offense hits a wall, boom, because there's no balance. There's no defense. We also were terrible rebounding the basketball. Why? Because we're not very good defending the perimeter with D'Lo, Reeves, and Rui Hachimura. We can't defend out there, so teams are just jacking up threes, and then D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, and Rui Hachimura don't have the foot speed to go track down loose balls. So now you get a lot of long ball rebounds, and teams are just tracking them down because we're just too slow out on the perimeter, right? And then they get second chances, and it just becomes a mess. So we can't defend, we can't rebound. It has the potential to be a disaster. Offensively, again, if everything's cooking, then you're going to be good, right? If guys can continue to play and perform to the offensive level that we saw last year, then the Lakers will probably win a lot of games, right? I mean, they were on pace to win something like 70 games with the starting 5 had they started from the beginning. But realistically, could they win 50? Sure, right? But I also like more balance. But the problem is without Jared Vanderbilt, it's hard to really find that balance. Now, look, I've talked about Austin Reeves going to the bench, right? And inserting a Max Christie or something like that for defense purposes, plus the numbers and stats back up Austin Reeves as the sixth man. He, one, was the favorite to win sixth man of the year last year till he got inserted back in the starting lineup. And two, he gives you the same stat line just on far better efficiency. I mean, his efficiency is insane when he's coming off the bench. But I don't think that that's going to happen. So I want to stick with the premise of D'Lo, Reeves, LeBron, and Anthony Davis being 4 of your 5 starters. So now what? If it's not Rui, what are your other options here? Now, Bronny James... Nah, I'm just joking. I just wanted to put in Bronny James to see how many people go, what? What are you talking about, Bronny James? Like, I'm just joking. Just joking about Bronny James. But the other rookie, in all seriousness, again, joke about Bronny James. But Dalton Connect, right? He's the other rookie that I actually do think you can make an argument to put in the starting 5. Bronny James, I think, is not even going to... I think he'll play like a handful of games, if that, because you will have the Bronny season, but Bronny's going to spend 99% of the time in the G League. He's even said that that's the case, so I expect that. But Dalton Connect, he's a guy that's expected to have an impact immediately. And he makes a lot of sense. He gives you good size. He's 6'7", right? Got good foot speed, good athleticism. He was one of the best athletes in this year's draft. I mean, period, right? Go look at his lane agility and all that stuff. He was the best, right? So he has good athleticism. He has good instincts. He's actually was very impressive at just his playmaking and being able to create not only for himself, for others, his ability to shoot 3-ball, his ability to shoot over the top, put the ball on the deck, get to the basket, basically be a legit 3-level scorer. And there is this expectation that he's going to come in and immediately play a role, immediately be part of the rotation, and immediately have an impact. As far as him being the starter, personally, and again, I want to hear all your thoughts and opinions down in the comments, but personally, I don't like the idea of starting him. That doesn't mean that you can't ever do that, but particularly to start the season, 1, there's already a lot of pressure on the kid. 2, the Lakers aren't in a position to where they can kind of gamble and mess around to where it's like, oh, if he's bad, it's okay. We're not trying to win. No, Lakers are trying to not be a play-in team and potentially win a championship. He also is a rookie. And even if he's great out the gate, you still want to give him time to really get his feet wet, to kind of learn the pace and the physicality and positioning and all the things at an NBA level, right? And you see a lot of rookies, even the great ones. I mean, even Pop protected Victor Wembanyama last year, and you saw, like, he had games where he had like 19 minutes, and you're like, why are they playing him 30? And then you saw as the season progressed, he started playing more and more minutes, right? So to me, I just think you kind of do the same thing. You kind of ease Connect in. And then, I mean, if he becomes so good, you have to start him, then you start him. My other concern is the lack of defense. He struggled defensively with the Summer League team, right? If he couldn't even defend some of the Summer League players, imagine him trying to defend some of the 3 and just the wings, period, in the NBA. He's going to get cooked. Now, I do like that he never gave up on plays. He would still funnel and all that stuff. But my thing is that, like, if he can't give you, better defense than Rui Hachimura, you might as well just go Rui Hachimura. Because then at that point, you're just having Dalton Connect in there for offensive reasons. But you know that Rui offensively gives you the impact that you need. So, at that point, to me, it's like, don't try to fix what ain't broke. You're better off just going with Rui Hachimura. So I don't like the idea of Dalton Connect personally. Now, Max Christie, again, if we were moving Austin Reeves to the bench, sure. Max Christie at the 3, however, I don't like. Now, look, he is arguably our second best perimeter defender, not named Jared Vanderbilt, right? Jared Vanderbilt is our best perimeter defender. There is a genuine argument that Max Christie is second. Now, you can make an argument for Gabe Vincent. You can make an argument for, Cam Reddish, right? But my problem with going Max Christie, yes, gives you 40% catch and shoot threes. Yes, he can defend. He's undersized for the 3. He's good size at the 2, But at the 3, on some nights, I think you can get away with it. On some nights, I think it's okay. And I do expect on most nights, if not all, there will be times where you have D'Lo, Reeves, and Christie out there, and that's fine. But to actually start and close games, that I don't know. Unless Max Christie is just absolutely in fuego one night, then yeah. But on most nights, I don't think you can go the Max Christie route because I just think you become very small. And your 2 guards aren't good enough defensively to make up for that, right? So, if Austin Reeves was at least serviceable defensively, and then, say, D'Lo was great defensively, right? Then, yes, I think you get away with Max Christie, right? Because you can run different defensive schemes and stuff. You're a little undersized, but you have enough defensive versatility out on the perimeter. But the problem is Austin Reeves is basically an open door, and same thing with a D'Angelo Russell. So I don't think that you can get away with it. Now, again, if you wanted to move Austin Reeves to the bench and go with Max Christie, but like I said, I just don't see that happening, and so I don't want to dive into that too much. So again, I don't like the idea of Max Christie starting at the 3 because I just think you lack the size. So the alternative would be Cam Reddish. Because again, there's an argument Cam Reddish is our second best defender. Problem with Cam Reddish is the lack of offense. However, he gave us about as good of a Jared Vanderbilt impression as you possibly can give. And if he can maintain that, Cam Reddish might be my favorite. Just to, again, give you that balance. Assuming Austin Reeves can get back to being more consistent offensively, which he's gotten a lot of rest, and he's got a coach that should favor him better and put him in better positions to succeed. If Austin Reeves can get back to being the efficient Reeves that we've seen the previous year, not last year, then I think having Cam Reddish in the starting unit as your 3 and your point of attack defensive guy, I think is fine. Just like Jared Vanderbilt, I think it's fine. If Austin Reeves struggles offensively, then I think that there's a concern. But also, Cam Reddish, he didn't really show it very much last year. How much of that was Darvin Ham, but he's more versatile offensively than Jared Vanderbilt has been. And we've seen that in other stints he's been at. I mean, this is a guy that go get you 20 on any given night. Right? He's had some good offensive scoring seasons and years. But also, will J.J. Redick kind of make it a point to slot him in better offensive actions? Right? Again, I don't need Cam Reddish to be elite. It'd be nice. I mean, dude, Cam Reddish is basically a 38% three-point shot away from being one of the best 3-and-D guys in the league. In a perfect world, he shoots 36% at least, right? But even if he doesn't, right, if Reeves is more efficient, D'Lo can still maintain, LeBron can still maintain their three-point shooting, then I actually think the Lakers' best decision might be to go with Reddish as just that balance. And again, just because you start him doesn't mean you have to play him 30 minutes, right? You could literally just play Reddish 10 minutes a game. I mean, you can do the same thing with Jared Vanderbilt, right? Like when I say start these guys, I don't necessarily mean that means you have to play them 32 minutes, right? You could literally start Cam Reddish, play him the first 5 minutes, and then not play him again till the last 5 minutes. Right? Just because a guy starts doesn't mean you have to play him 35 minutes a game, right? So, to me, it's just like, learn from Darvin Ham's mistakes of like, hey, Reddish in small doses is really good, but as soon as you start getting carried away, things go downhill fast. It's kind of my thoughts. But lastly, Jackson Hayes. And so with Jackson Hayes, you could go kind of the big route. Now, the problem with going with Jackson Hayes is without Christian Wood, you lack bigs. Now, you could go with Colin Castleton, or you could kind of weather it to where, you know, you're starting them, but then you're kind of sprinkling their minutes throughout. My other problem with this is now you're moving LeBron to the 3. And LeBron's been playing the 4 because of his age. It's not as taxing. Now, you would be bigger, right? Probably be better rebounding. Jackson Hayes isn't really the rim protector, but you have now Anthony Davis in that like scout role, you know, that kind of free safety role, to where he can kind of make up for Jackson Hayes and his lack of discipline. The problem is that you'd need LeBron to buy in more on the defensive side, particularly out on the perimeter playing the 3. Because, yeah, you're bigger on the inside, but if teams just go, hey, we're just never going to go inside and just shoot a bunch of wide open threes because it's LeBron, D'Lo, and Austin Reeves defending us, then you don't really take advantage of your size advantage, right? So, to me, like, you know, you look at the 2020 team, and a lot of people go, oh, yeah, but, you know, AD was at the 4. Yeah, but they also had, like, Alex Caruso, Avery Bradley, KCP, Kyle Kuzma. You had actual perimeter defenders. You had guys that could defend out on the perimeter and limit 3-point attempts. And then you had 2 big bodies, you know, out on the perimeter or out on the interior that just prevented you from getting to the rim, right? So, again, like, I don't hate the idea of Jackson Hayes, but you're asking a lot from LeBron at that point, and do you really want to wear him down? So, personally, I think you either leave it as is, and you go with you know, Rui Hachimura at the 3, or you insert Cam Reddish and you go the Cam Reddish route and you keep that limited. Again, limited. But how do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you agree with my points? Do you disagree with my points? Do you have other ideas? Is there another player I didn't talk about that you did? I mean, obviously, again, you can go with like Gabe Vincent and stuff like that, but I wanted to kind of keep it at the 3 spot, right? Are you really moving Austin Reeves to the 3 to insert Gabe Vincent? Probably not. So, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.